In left, Mr. Everything, Barry Bonds bats number 3. Second baseman Jeff Kent will hit cleanup. First baseman J.P. Snow, a former American leaguer with the Angels, bats number 5. Another former AL guy, former Athletic, former Angel Stan Javier trolls right field, batting 6th. Catcher Brian Johnson hits number 7. At shortstop, it's Ritz Aurelia in the 8 hole. And the pitcher tonight, young left-hander Shawn Estes, bats number 9 for the Giants.
And you take a look at the Brewers as they stack up defensively. Darren Jackson getting his first start of 1998. He's in left field. Marquise Grissom in center field. Jeremy Burnett's in right. Cirillo at third. Mark Loretta getting his second start of the year. His first at shortstop, giving Jose Valentin a day off. Fernando Vina, 5 for 5 yesterday. He's at second base. John Jaha at first. Mike Matheny behind the plate. And on the mound, making his second start and 4th appearance of this year, Jose Mercedes.
Might strike fans a little funny. Mercedes certainly a fixture in the starting rotation in the number 3 spot in the 1 through 5 for Phil Garner. However, a couple of different situations have led Jose to making some relief appearances before he's even made his second start of the year. This is his second start of the season. He's already had 2 relief outings for various reasons. There's the overall numbers at 0-0, 4.82 ERA. His last appearance came at Montreal in our first of 3 up in Quebec. He went 1 inning, allowed a hit, walked a batter, did not factor in the decision. Nice night for baseball. I'll tell you, we have a nice turnout in the outfield. The left field pavilion is just about full, 54 degrees, still a smattering of sunshine with us, a little bit of a breeze. And we're looking for more of the same all weekend long. A couple of afternoon games tomorrow and Sunday. They should be nice ones. Umpires for tonight. Mike Winters calling balls and strikes. In the infield, 1st to 3rd, Larry Poncino, Steve Ripley, and Gary Darling. First time we've seen this National League crew.
Well, at home plate, the umpires, Dusty Baker, manager for the Giants, and Doug Manzolino, spending a lot of time on the ground rules here at County Stadium. The umpires, this is the first time they've been here, and obviously Dusty Baker, as a manager with the Giants, hasn't been here. And everybody wants to make sure of the particular rules when you're talking about County Stadium.
Well, Dusty Baker's bunch had a great year in 1997, winning a division crown, going to the playoffs. They were ousted in the first round by the eventual world champion Florida Marlins, but it was a great year in San Francisco for Dusty Baker and the Giants. Barry Bonds with another fabulous year. Not too much left for this young man to prove.
Well, you're looking at perhaps the best offensive player of the 90s. Home runs, runs scored, RBIs, stolen bases, batting average. He does it all. Not a bad left fielder. Much maligned for his defensive abilities, but he's not as bad as people make him out to be.
He is the only 350 man ever in the history of Major League Baseball. That is to say, 350 home runs and 350 stolen bases. In fact, he plays till the year 2001, which in all likelihood he will. He's got a chance to go 500, and if you talk to Barry about it, he wants to go 600.
Why not? Why stop? Good ball player. Excited about him being at County Stadium and we being here for it. Exciting player.
Well, he's certainly used to being the center of controversy. He got some boos when he was announced here at County Stadium just because he's Barry Bonds, but we will say on his behalf that he spent about 20 minutes signing autographs prior to this ball game, something that not a lot of players anywhere will do anymore.
Well, maybe he should have done that in left field, huh? In the bleachers?
You know, those guys wouldn't care. They came out here just to get some booze out, and it doesn't matter who it is.
He signed the autographs for the people in the expensive seats. The guys in the bleachers are going to be all over him today.
We're ready for baseball tonight. Glad to have you with us on Midwest Sports Channel, our first of a weekend full of coverage. Giants and then the LA Dodgers in town for 3 next week. Darryl Hamilton, the former Brewer, to lead things off. Saw the numbers on Hamilton. He started 14 for his first 53 this year. Doing a good job, as per usual, at getting on base.
And the first pitch, 6:08 p.m.
And he leads off this one with a base hit back up the middle. So Hamilton aboard to set the table to the top of the first.
Well, and that's one of the things that I believe that Don Rowe, Phil Garner are concerned about with Jose Mercedes, his lack of activity. A couple of times out of the bullpen, only with 9 innings on the season.
Baseman number 32, Bill Miller.
Expect that he's going to be concentrating on getting that ball down in the strike zone. That looked like a changeup that was up in the zone, and Hamilton just spanked it into center field.
Here's the third baseman, Bill Miller, now. Miller has started hot. 320 average at the start of play. Mercedes with his eye on Hamilton, always a threat to run, as Milwaukee fans certainly remember. Strike one to Bill Miller.
Well, I mentioned the Giants are very capable offensively. Some of their big sluggers off to a slow start with the home runs, only 8 coming in compared to the Brewers' 17. You expect Darryl Hamilton, guys like that, to be running in this series. They got some guys that can steal bases.
Miller looks bunt and lays away, and it's 1-1 now. There are 4 Giants that bring a pair of home runs into this series. They are Barry Bonds, Bill Miller, Charlie Hayes has a pair, lifted foul. Hard to imagine this Giants club with all the power 1 through 9 being near the bottom in the National League in team home runs, but it's only a matter of time before these guys heat up.
Yeah, they'll get going. Before it's all said and done, they're going to be amongst the league leaders in runs scored, RBIs. Very good veteran offensive ball club. Bill Miller, as you mentioned, with the 2 home runs, he hit those in the same game.
Ball and 2 strikes to count on Bill Miller. Hamilton from first to lead the ball game, and it's to 2-2 now. Well, the San Francisco Giants, while without the benefit of a lot of their big power hitters being hot early in the season, are still playing some pretty good baseball to start 1998 at 9-6, 3 games back of red-hot San Diego.
Yeah.
It's good for second place in the NL West. In fact, the Giants were hot coming into this series. They had a 3-game winning streak established prior to Wednesday's loss versus San Diego, a 1-0 loss to Kevin Brown. This team is off to a good start.
Yeah. You mentioned good pitching, good offense, very good defense. That's Dusty Baker, the way he has aligned this ball club. As you mentioned, you would expect a veteran club to be good defensively.
Still 2-2 on Bill Miller.
Jose Mercedes really trying to establish his off-speed stuff early here in the first inning. That's what he's got to do. He can't get by. He's not one of those pitchers that can get by the first time around just pumping fastballs. He doesn't have that kind of heater.
Still 2-2 on Miller. Dusty Baker, manager of the Giants, familiar with County Stadium in Milwaukee as he ended his career in the American League with Oakland. So this is not altogether unfamiliar for Dusty Baker. Managing here is a different story, of course.
Yeah.
Hamilton still edging off first, and it's still 2-2 on Bill Miller. Mercedes from the stretch. A base hit back up the middle for Miller. Turning it on is Hamilton. He'll get over to third, and the Giants have put runners at the corners right out of the chute against Jose Mercedes and the Brewers.
Almost identical pitches, the same pitch that Darryl Hamilton was able to shoot up the middle exactly to Bill Miller. Watch the pitch. Right down the middle. It's up in the strike zone. A fastball that he was trying to tail away from him. It didn't do it. 2 batters, 2 base hits, first and third here in the first.
So with runners at the corners and nobody out, Mercedes is going to have to go to work on Barry Bonds. Bonds with a couple of home runs. They came in back-to-back games versus St. Louis and San Diego. There's your tailor-made double play ball. Vina to Loretta, back to Jaha. They give up the run for the double play. 1-0 Giants.
A good changeup that time by Jose Mercedes. You figured Bonds was going to be sitting on the fastball. Took a little off it and had Bonds out in front. Easy double play, but the Giants get on the board. Good pitch by Jose Mercedes. Bonds tried to pull it. Easy 4-6-3 double play.
Boy, anytime you can give up the run to get 2 outs with Bonds at the plate, you'll certainly do it, especially in the top of the first. So 2 away, the run in, 1-0 Giants, bases empty. Jeff Kent, the batter. Kent with 19 hits to start play leads the Giants. .311 batting average, a home run, and a team-high 13 runs batted in.
Well, I really stepped it up last year when Barry Bonds got off to his slow start. 1997, really wasn't hitting the ball very well, wasn't driving in the runs. Jeff Kent, he was the guy. Can't win a championship with one player. It's not just Barry Bonds. It's Jeff Kent. It's J.T. Snow. He doesn't hurt you, though.
I would say not. 2-0 on Kent. That one's hit well to left. Darren Jackson under it at the track, feeling for the wall, puts it away. Only 1 in the top of the first for the Giants. We played a half inning of baseball from County Stadium tonight. 1-0 San Francisco. You're watching Brewers baseball on MSC.
Tires Plus, like no other tire store.
No, I don't need vinyl siding. This is an apartment. I can't get away from these salesmen.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim. This is for you. Hello. Make sure you deal with a pro, like your GMC dealer. It's closer than you think. Here, let's take a look.
Right now, get a GMC Sierra regular cab with low 1.9% APR GMAC financing and average finance savings of $25.61. See your southeastern Wisconsin GMC dealer today.
Oh, no, don't get it.
And the pitch. Swinging a line drive. The bullet past to Ray Allen. Shake, which is North America's most popular big game animal.
Shaquille O'Neal is not with
Oh, look at that.
You've got Fox Sports News.
MSC, your ultimate sports connection.
Well, the Giants the first to score here tonight from County Stadium. 1-0 San Francisco after just a half inning of baseball. Time for left-hander Shawn Estes to make his first ever start at County Stadium. And this is how Phil Garner lines up the Brewers tonight. The red-hot second baseman Fernando Vina, after a career-high tying 5 for 5 yesterday, leads things off. Playing third base, batting second is Jeff Cirillo. John Jaha at first base. Good to have JJ back in the lineup with a 3-game hitting streak under his belt. Bats third. Burnitz, Grissom, and Loretta 4 through 6. Jackson, Matheny, and Mercedes round out the Brewers lineup card tonight.
Well, here's the defense behind lefty Shawn Estes tonight. Bonds, Hamilton, and Javier in the outfield. Miller, Aurelia, Kent, and J.T. Snow around the horn. Brian Johnson doing the catching, and he will be catching the 6'2", 195-pound Shawn Estes.
Shawn Estes has gotten off to a slow start in 1998 after just a world-beating rookie season last year. A 19-game winner for the Giants a year ago. And his first pitch of the night to Fernando Vina is in for a strike. Estes was virtually unhittable in the first half of 97. Came back down to earth a bit in the second half, and you can see the start he's off to this year.
Now, Estes, one of those left-handers that can't throw the ball straight. He can be erratic. He led the National League last year with 100 walks. He's 19 and 5. He's got good stuff. Going to throw a lot of very good curveballs tonight.
Vina drops down the bunt, and he's going to reach because nobody can get to first base in time. How about Fernando Vina with 6 hits in his last 6 at-bats dating back to yesterday at Montreal?
Well, Vina is able to get on base. Right-handed pitchers, left-handed pitchers, doesn't matter. He led off the game yesterday against Carlos Perez with a drag bunt. Once you get it by the pitcher, you're home free if you've got the speed of Fernando Vina.
Number 26, Jeff Cirillo.
As soon as that got past Shawn Estes, you knew that Nando was going to beat it out. J.T. Snow had to come off the bag, and Vina is aboard with the drag bunt single to start out the bottom of the first. And now it's Cirillo. Jeff coming off a rough series at Montreal, according to the numbers.
Numbers don't always tell the story, though, do they?
Absolutely not.
Hit the ball very well for the most part. A couple of strikeouts yesterday in the ball game, but for the most part, Cirillo was swinging the bat very well in Montreal. Could have easily had a very good series. 4 or 5 line drives that were caught. Sometimes it doesn't matter to a hitter how he's hitting the ball. He needs base hits.
Hit on the ground to third. Miller to Kent. Relay back to Snow. Boy, monkey see, monkey do. The Brewers turn the double play in the top half of the inning, and the Giants counter with a nicely turned 5-4-3 here in the bottom half.
Well, Shawn Estes has a very good tailing fastball, particularly to right-handers. If you're right-handed, you try and pull it. There's going to be a lot of ground balls to the right side of the infield. Or I should say the left side of the infield. And that was one there.
So quickly, 2 away. The base is empty now for Jaha. Good to have Johnny back in the lineup, and he is certainly back. The extra base bat was alive and well in Montreal the past 3 days. Homer yesterday at Olympic Stadium, his first of the year.
Well, it just really puts a lot of continuity to the top of that Brewer order. It's pretty much in disarray when John was out for those 3 or 4 ball games. They tried Valentine in a number 3 hole, Loretto one time, and I'll tell you, for this club to be successful, they've got to have John Jaha in there just about every day.
Here's ball 4. Estes loses Jaha on 4 straight pitches rather quickly, so the 2-out walk issue.
Right fielder, number 20, Jeremy Burnett.
Jaha aboard with 2 away. Jeremy Burnett's the batter now. Jeremy went 1 for 7 yesterday at Montreal. Had a tough series up against the Expos. I'll tell you, when you can win 2 out of 3 games any place, and guys like Cirillo and Burnett aren't hitting, you know you're doing some things right.
Yeah, Jose Valentine didn't get a whole lot of base hits in that series.
It's been very encouraging the way the Brewers have been able to win games to start the season.
Well, the Brewers faced 2 left-handers, 2 left-handed starters in the series in Montreal, and they're going to face 2 in this series. Certainly the Brewers are much more familiar or much more comfortable facing right-handed pitching.
1 ball, 1 strike on Burnett's. Jaha from first with 2 away. That one's rattled into the corner. Jaha will turn it on and head for third. The Brewers have put runners at the corners with 2 away against Shawn Estes here in the first inning.
Well, that's the one thing that Jeremy Burnett is going to have to start doing, getting base hits against left-handed pitching. Because if he struggles, they're not going to be pitching to John Jaha. Jaha's going to get the walks. Jeremy's going to come up. And if Jeremy continues to get these kind of base hits, they're going to have to throw strikes to Jaha, and that's what the Brewers would like to see.
2 on, 2 out. Jaha and Burnett's aboard at the corners. Marquise Grissom, the batter. Marquise in the midst of an 11-game hitting streak. He was the offensive hero yesterday, delivered the game winner in extra innings, and that one's headed for the gap. Make it a 12-game streak and make it a 1-1 tie at the very least. They're going to windmill Burnett's to the plate. No throw home. Brewers on top by a run. A 2-run double for Marquise Grissom.
Now a little bit of 2-out thunder here at County Stadium. 2 outs, nobody on, and an innocent walk to Jaha. Boy, credit Jeremy Burnett with a good at-bat, keeping this inning alive. And Marquise Grissom does what he did all day yesterday, drive in the big run. You go to right center field with that Shawn Estes fastball, and you're going to have success. Well, a good piece of 2-out hitting by a veteran hitter.
So Marquise Grissom, who's celebrating his 31st birthday today, cashes in at his first opportunity at the plate. Runs his hitting streak to 12 and drives in a pair with a double here against Estes in the first. Now it's Mark Loretta. Well, yesterday, after Grissom delivered that game winner, you and I looked at each other and said the exact same thing while we were sitting in the press box shoving hot dogs in our throats. That's why we brought him over here, right?
That's right, the big RBIs. Clutch hitter in a big situation. You know, the whole inning set up by the Jeremy Burnett's base hit. You know, Estes was very careful to John Jaha, knowing that Burnett struggles against left-handed pitchers. Jeremy got the big base hit and gave Grissom the opportunity.
2 balls and a strike on Mark Loretta. Loretta making his first start at shortstop this year. Had previously started at first base in place of Jaha when he had missed a few games last week. Lowe really hasn't had a chance to get out there every day and heat up. You'll recall the same thing happened to him last year. He didn't really truly get red hot until the month of June last season when he hit nearly 400.
Yeah. Well, he sat on the bench for a good 2.5 weeks. Valentine hurt his finger. He broke his finger trying to bunt. He got an opportunity. Struggled a little bit. But really started playing well when he replaced Vigna. Mark Loretta's too good a player to keep on the bench for very long. You're going to have to find ways to get him in the lineup. He can hit, do a lot of things for you on the field. And you know that's exactly what Phil Garner's thinking, but you certainly can't take Vigna out of the lineup. Certainly a left-handed pitcher out there. Valentine struggling against left-handers. Why not?
2-2 to Loretta. 2 away. Runner at second is Grissom. Grounded to the left side. Aurelia from short gets Loretta, but the Brewers get 2 runs against Estes in the first. The 2-run double by Marquise Grissom has put the Brewers on top 2-1 as we go to the second. You're watching Brewers baseball on MSC.
Shopping for a computer. Nightmare on Cyber Street. What do you really want?
A choice of brands.
American has compact, IBM, Apple, Sony.
A good price.
American has the absolute low price. We'll show you in writing how our prices compare with other stores, even mail order.
I'd like to get everything and know it'll all fit together.
American's complete computer packages will work, guaranteed.
So you've got a friend in the business, because American's right next door.
American, the low price and so much more.
If I ran the post office, there'd be a way to send paperwork and merchandise overseas that gets attention. Something that says openly, I'm important. But it's got to save money, real money, and go to all my key markets. Plus it would have value, be reliable, and fast.
Global Priority Mail. It's happening at your U.S. Postal Service. We deliver.
A lot of industry experts told us that the passenger side was the best place to add a third door. We got still more advice insisting that the driver's side was the only logical choice. But as you can see, we let it all go right in one ear and out the other. Introducing the new Dodge Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
Snapper walk-behind mulching mowers. Get the quality you expect for a price you wouldn't. Check out Snapper's new 5-horsepower push mower for under $300. Or be kind to your lawn and yourself with our self-propelled 6-horsepower mower for under $400. These durable mowers have powerful engines and broad 21-inch mowing deck. So hurry to your local Snapper dealer now to get the best for less.
Snapper. Anything less just won't cut it.
Call 1-800-SNAPPER for the dealer nearest you.
Spring Madness returns to County Stadium on April 18th and 19th, featuring $1 bleachers, $3 general admission tickets, and $1 Cokes and hot dogs. Call 933-9000 for information.
J.T. Snow, Stan Javier, and Brian Johnson in the Giants' second. 2-1 Brewers. An action-packed first inning already, let me tell you. How about that dollar bleachers deal? Look at the bleachers tonight. They're absolutely packed.
Packed is right. I don't
Fans
care
responding.
I don't care how many people in the rest of the stadium. When the bleachers are full, it really has a good effect.
It'll look great. It does.
Yeah?
It looks neat. That's getting darn near standing room only out there, folks.
Of course, that's just about the only thing we can actually see. That might be it.
Snow dribbles one foul. Count 2-2. That promotion will be happening the next 2 days as well. Get in the house for $1, sit in the bleachers, crack open the beverage of your choice. Enjoy the Brewers and Giants couple of day games tomorrow and Sunday. That's where I'd be if we weren't working.
Watch the steel go up at Miller Park. Boy, there's a lot more steel there right now than there was when we left. 3 days.
True.
There it is.
They're rolling over there, let me tell you.
Yeah, good weather for it.
2 balls and 2 strikes on J.T. Snow. Switch hitter batting from the left side against Mercedes, and that one's jerked foul. J.T. Snow won his 3rd Gold Glove last year. The '97 Giants. He's got one of them in both leagues now.
Yeah.
Only a handful of guys have ever done that. Here's a 2-2 home to Snow. Called strike 3.
Pulled the string on J.T. Snow that time. J.T. Snow looking for something hard, and Mercedes went with a changeup. There it is, right about at the top of the strike zone. And Mike Winters rings him up.
One away now. Stan Javier, the batter. Javier has started the season 13 for his first 49. Another veteran of many an American League campaign. Fans from County Stadium remember Stan Javier wearing an Oakland A's uniform for 2 different stints. Also a former California Angel.
One of 3 switch hitters in the lineup tonight. One of 4 on the roster. A lot of switch hitters on the team, huh?
2 balls and no strikes on Javier.
Well, if you're a manager, you can be pretty flexible when you've got 4 switch hitters on your roster. You got 3 in there. Doesn't matter who's pitching.
Make it 3-0 now. Two-time National League Manager of the Year, Dusty Baker. There's a strike. 3-1 to Javier. Only Jim Leyland and Tommy Lasorda have won a National League Manager of the Year honor as many times as Baker has. Each of them have done it twice. It's hit in the air out to left for Darren Jackson, calling for it. 2 away.
Catcher number 18, Brian Johnson.
So 2 gone now for Brian Johnson. Well, if you were to set the stage last year for heroics, as the Giants certainly had, and needed a guy to take a big-time curtain call, Brian Johnson really answered the bell. More on that as we continue. As Jose Valentin gets through the Giants' 5, 6, 7 hitters easily here in the second. 1.5 gone at County Stadium tonight. Brewers on top of the Giants 2-1.
Folks, let's talk about how important it is to pledge your support to the Miller Lite racing team.
Mary, we have a caller.
Hi, this is Nancy from the county library.
Go ahead, Nancy.
I'd like to challenge all librarians to 6 cases.
6 cases? Nancy, you must really like beer.
No, not really. But that Rusty Wallace has a really nice...
Oh, Mary, now that's a real race fan for you.
Would you ever buy a car without a test drive?
Never.
Well, then why do people buy stereos and never listen to what they're buying?
Well, they may not realize that every stereo sounds different. At American, you won't find warehouse racks. You'll find our stereo equipment hooked up so you can listen to the combination and find one that's right for you.
So if you wouldn't buy a car without a test drive...
Then you shouldn't buy a stereo without listening. And now, many stereos include no money down, no interest till the year 2000.
American, the low price and so much more.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Card Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover Card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
When news breaks, we are there. When the big stars, we welcome Kareem, Evander Holyfield, with Roger Clemens, tell their stories.
But I'll never shut the critics up.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Fox Sports News Prime Time is there.
Now, I can really say Charles is the best player in the country.
On the field, in the clubhouse, or behind the scenes, our team's got you covered. Fox Sports News Prime Time. We are there. Weeknights at 10.
Are you looking for more hockey action? Then tune into MSC for the IHL Game of the Week. Coming up, it's Grand Rapids against Cincinnati. Catch all the action as the best of the best compete in the round 1 of the IHL playoffs. The puck drops tomorrow night at 6, right here on MSC, your ultimate sports connection.
Darren Jackson opens the Brewers' second. Jackson, Matheny, and Mercedes against left-hander Shawn Estes. Brewers on top of the Giants 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the second. Well, Bill mentioned it as we ran down the starting lineups. D. Jack's making his first start of the year.
Well, Mark Newfield was struggling offensively in left field, and Phil, while the team was in Montreal, gave Eric Owens a couple of opportunities to get some at-bats. He went hitless. Now it's Darren Jackson's turn. Kind of thing that happens when one of your big horses is out of the lineup. David Nilsson is supposed to be in left field pretty much every game, but out with that knee surgery. It's not as easy as it may appear to replace a guy like Nilsson.
No question. The Brewers getting it done by committee in Nilly's absence. Counts the ball and 2 strikes on Darren Jackson. 2-2.
Jackson in yesterday's ball game might have staved the day defensively. Made some great defensive catches, coming in late in the ball game, took extra bases away in extra innings, made a diving stab on a line drive coming in. Really did a nice job out there.
Doing a nice job here behind in the count to start. He has worked it full now, however. 3 balls and 2 strikes as Estes misses with fastballs. Jackson, Matheny, and Mercedes here in the bottom of the second. Out of the wind, here's a payoff home. And he misses inside once again. There's ball 4. Shawn Estes does not look comfortable out there tonight, and he's telling you such with his body language. He just does not look like he's ready to go.
Yeah, after throwing that last pitch, he walked about halfway to the foul line, looking into the dugout. Not sure if he's upset about the strike zone. There's Ron Peronowski, the pitching coach, Dusty Baker. As we mentioned, Shawn Estes last year had 100 walks, which led the league, so the base on balls is something he must be used to.
Leadoff hitter aboard for the second straight inning against Estes. Now it's Mike Matheny. Michael working on a career-high 7-game hitting streak. Estes taking a look at Jackson off first. It's a 1-1 now.
And Matheny really looks good at the plate right now. Very aggressive. He's got a lot of confidence going in. Much different than last year. With that new approach to the plate, really swinging the bat with more authority until he has 2 strikes.
Still with an aggressive hitter's count here at 1-1. Jackson from first. There's that big sharp curveball from Estes. It misses outside 2-1. That's usually what Shawn Estes is going to go to for a strikeout pitch.
That's his bread and butter. Unfortunately for Shawn Estes, he hasn't been in a situation or a position where he's been able to throw it tonight.
Good live fastball in the middle 90s. He can sink it away from hitters both right-handed and left-handed. He really doesn't have anything working early here tonight. 3-1 now. There's no question that when Shawn Estes is on, he's absolutely nasty. You don't win 19 games if you're lucky.
19-5, not bad, huh?
No
First
doubt.
full season in the big leagues.
Loses Matheny on ball 4. This is certainly unusual for Shawn Estes. The story with his first full season in the National League last year was that he absolutely dominated opponents the first time that opposing lineup got a look at him. And pitching coach Ron Peronoski wants to chat with him here.
Well, that might have been a little bit of the reason why he struggled in the second half. The second time that a hitter sees a pitcher, you have an idea of what his tendencies are, what he likes to go to when he needs a strikeout or needs to make a pitch. But since the second half of the season, Shawn Estes hasn't been able to get it together. 7-3 after the All-Star break, 0-2 this year. And again, 3 walks already.
Jackson at second base, Matheny at first, nobody out, and it's his pitching counterpart, Jose Mercedes now. Mercedes is the only Brewer starter without a base hit this year. He's going to give himself up in this situation and bunts it foul.
Well, Mercedes just about the only Brewer starter that has really looked like he's felt uncomfortable at the plate. Scotty Carl has made the adjustment very well. Paul Wagner has hit before. Juden, Cal Eldred. Well, Mercedes' job is to get the bunt down here. Looked like a balk.
Sure did.
Looked like Estes made a move to home plate, stopped, looked down as though a balk was going to be called, but it wasn't.
Wow. Here's the 0-1 to Mercedes, and again he pushes it foul. Estes just doesn't look comfortable on the mound. As uncomfortable as he may look tonight, opposing base runners have trouble looking comfortable with him out there as well. He's got a good move from the left side. Opposing base stealers had success in just 8 of 20 attempts with him out there last year. He's really tough to make something happen against. And again, after setting, he bounces off the mound. 0-2 on Mercedes.
And you're talking about you're getting ready to throw a pitch to a pitcher who looks like he's going to go up there and bunt. Just can't get it together.
Here's the 0-2. Mercedes squares around again and can't get it done. Strike 3. That was one of the more unusual at-bats we've seen this season.
Well, Estes goes with the curveball, 0-2 to Jose Mercedes, and Mercedes goes after it. He did. He offered at it. Good block by Brian Johnson. Not exactly the technique that you would want to show to a little league group, huh?
That's an awfully tough pitch to try to put down as a bunt. Curveball in the dirt. 1 away. Back to top of the order, red hot Fernando Vina. 6 straight hits in his last 6 plate appearances. Runners at first and second for the Brewers with 1 away. Brewers on top of the Giants 2-1.
There if you were to talk to Phil Garner and you ask him about Fernando Vina, he really wouldn't talk about the home runs, the RBIs, the hits, the batting average. It's the on-base percentage that concerns manager Phil. Coming into the game over 500, and it's going to go up. 507 coming in. Man,
that's not bad. That one bounced just foul.
It's not bad when your leadoff guy is getting on every other time up. You're going to score some runs if he does that.
Well, at the start of play tonight, only Chipper Jones of the Braves and Mark McGuire of the Cardinals had a better on-base percentage than Vina. Neither one of those guys is a leadoff hitter, and in both of those cases, their on-base percentage is so great because they hit the ball out of the ballpark so often.
And they're really not on base.
Technically speaking, no. A ball and a strike on Nando. Wrapped to first baseman Snow. Steps on first. That's the only play he'll have. Both base runners advance. Couple of runners in scoring position now with 2 away.
A pretty good pitch by Shawn Estes. Good pitch on the outside part of the plate. You try and pull that ball. That's what's going to ordinarily happen, an easy ground ball. JT Snow's not the guy you want to hit ground balls to. He can pick it. That was an easy one.
Here's Cirillo now with runners in scoring position. Just the kind of situation Jeff made a living off of a year ago. A left-hander on the mound, runners aboard and 2 away. Jackson at third base. Matheny the runner at second.
Now this is an ideal situation for Jeff Cirillo. He knows that Estes wants to give him something to hit. He doesn't want to put him on and have to face Jaha. Jaha, a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
This is where a healthy John Jaha makes all the difference in the world, just to further what we were talking about back in the first inning.
Just being in the on-deck circle. You bet. That was a good pitch that Cirillo had to hit that last swing. Fastball middle in, he just missed it.
Cirillo behind 1 and 2. Estes will work out of the wind, the 1-2 home. In for a called strike 3. There's that big, nasty curveball. My goodness. Estes strands a pair in the second. We've played 2 complete from County Stadium tonight. Brewers lead the Giants 2-1. You're watching Brewers baseball on MSC.
Longtime tradition continues at County Stadium with the Brewers Powerade Fan Club. Kids 13 and under will receive 6 tickets to Brewers games, special souvenirs, members-only events, and contests by enrolling in the fan club for just $14. Receive half off the fan club price with 2 proofs of purchase from any Powerade product. The Brewers Powerade Fan Club is a fun, affordable way to introduce young Brewers fans to the excitement of Major League Baseball. To enroll in the 1998 Brewers Powerade Fan Club, call 414-933-4114.
Snapper walk-behind mulching mowers. Get the quality you expect for a price you wouldn't. Check out Snapper's new 5-horsepower push mower for under $300. Or be kind to your lawn and yourself with our self-propelled 6-horsepower mower for under $400. These durable mowers have powerful engines and broad 21-inch mowing deck. So hurry to your local Snapper dealer now to get the best for less.
Snapper. Anything less just won't cut it.
Call 1-800-SNAPPER for the dealer nearest you.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me.
The Hoover Steam Vac Ultra has 5 rotating brushes.
Plus, it has a powered hand tool with 2 more brushes. It cleans like a whole crew of professionals. So, you know, there's really no comparison. Steam Vac Ultra.
Does it like you?
Here's the curveball that we've been talking about for the early part of this ball game. As a right-handed hitter, you can't give up on that pitch. It starts out way outside, wraps around, and catches the outside corner. You can't give up on it from the right side. Cirillo can't believe it.
Yeah, Jeff Moore expressing frustration over the big break on that pitch than the actual call. He knew it was right there. Here's Rich Aurelia now. Aurelia followed by the pitcher, then Darrell Hamilton top of the order here in the Giants' third. 2-1 Brewers. Matt Vasgersian, Bill Schroeder, producer-director Wade Rowland with you tonight from County Stadium. Our first of 3 with the defending National League Western Division champs. And quickly it's 0-2 on Rich Aurelia.
There's the first good curveball by Jose Mercedes tonight. The off-speed, big breaker, catches the outside corner. That's a pitch that Mercedes has to have if he's going to be successful. Good breaking pitches, doesn't have enough on the fastball to get by.
Well, for Jose Mercedes, just getting out there to get the start tonight represents a big return to normalcy for him. No more of these relief appearances to keep him sharp, as has been the case for the past week or so.
And just to make sure, I saw Jose Mercedes walk in the clubhouse door at 3:15 today. Make no mistake, I'm not going to be late again.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Rich Aurelia. Rich Aurelia's shoes this year have gotten rather large. Those he has to fill, that is. Jose Vizcaíno, who signed a free agent deal with rival Los Angeles over the winter, the outgoing Dodger or Giant shortstop from last year, rather, had a big year. It's Aurelia's job in '98.
Well, it was a battle in spring training between Aurelia and Ray Sanchez, and finally Dusty Baker went with Aurelia. Ray Sanchez, not a bad guy to have waiting in the wings. Both very good defensively. Anything you get with the bat's going to be a bonus.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Aurelia still. And pop foul once again. That one's up here near us.
Weak effort.
Did you see me dive after that bad boy?
That's a weak effort by the guys down in the loge. Wow. They ran. Didn't come anywhere near us.
Hey, you got to make that play down there, man. Tired.
There they are. Terrible effort.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Aurelia. Got him. After a long battle, Mercedes finally rings up Rich Aurelia.
Well, and he got him with a curveball. Aurelia was able to hang in there with the hard stuff. Then Mercedes changed speeds on him and froze Aurelia. Perfect pitch right on the outside corner.
Aurelia with the same kind of reaction Jeff Cirillo had when he was rung up with a big 2-strike curveball to end the last half inning. Now it's Shawn Estes. Estes is a good hitting pitcher. He's 2 for 4 with the double already this year. And swinging aggressively. First pitch on Mercedes fouls it off. Oh, and 2. Pitching matchups for the rest of the series are very, very good ones. It's going to be a good weekend of baseball at County Stadium. The 0-2 first of all from Mercedes. Swung on, line back up the middle. How about your pitcher starting the season 3 for 5 with a bat in his hand?
Not too bad. Oh, we saw in Montreal, Trey Moore. He got a single and a double.
Center fielder.
Now Shawn Estes with a high fastball. This is a pitch that Mercedes would probably think better of the next time Shawn Estes is up there. Pretty good high ball hitter. He spanks it into center field. And normally the pitcher's spot an easy out, but Some of these guys can swing the bat.
Tell you what, it's been impressive this year to watch some of these
You just can't
pitchers.
lay it down the middle.
Here's Darrell Hamilton now. So Estes aboard with one gone here, top three. 2-1 Brewers. Hamilton with a shot into the corner in right. Burnitz goes to get it. Estes turning it on, heading for third. Runners at the corners for the Giants on Darrell Hamilton's second single in as many at-bats tonight.
Boy, Hamilton not wasting a whole lot of time. And a good play by Jeremy Burnitz to get that ball down the line, keeping Hamilton at first base, keeping the double play in order. Watch Burnitz. He's going to get on his horse. He knows how important it is for Hamilton to stay at first base. Estes cruising around second base. Oh, now a ground ball by Bill Miller will get him out of the inning.
Runners at the corners for the Giants now with Miller the batter. Now Mercedes got a ground ball to turn a double play in the first that minimized the damage at just one run in the first inning. It was Barry Bonds that hit into the double play. Bonds is on deck here. One ball, no strikes on Bill Miller. Those aforementioned pitching matchups that we talked about for the rest of this series. Tomorrow, an old Brewer nemesis in Oral Hershiser, who in the strangest of ironies is now a San Francisco Giant. Who'd have thought that in the 80s when he was the biggest card-carrying Dodger or Giant hater while a member of the Dodgers. And Paul Wagner for the Brewers tomorrow. And then on Sunday, a couple of southpaws, tough left-hander Kirk Reeder and Scott Carl for the Brewers, who we are told will indeed make his scheduled start despite being hit by a batted baseball in Montreal a couple of days ago that looked as though it was going to end his career.
Who'd have thought that, huh?
There's ball four to Bill Miller, so they are loaded now for Bonds. Not the predicament that Mercedes wanted to be in.
Oh, and Bill Miller stepped to the plate. I was getting ready to say, do you think this kid's going to get pitches to hit this year with Barry Bonds hitting behind him? But Jose Mercedes walked him on 4 pitches. Well, it's certainly not what you would expect the pitcher to be thinking about. You lay one right down the middle to Bill Miller if you have to.
Loaded for Bonds. One away, top 3. A big moment early in this one for Mercedes. Strike one. As novel as it is to see the Brewers and Giants playing during the regular season, these two teams are not altogether unfamiliar with one another. They faced each other quite a bit in the Cactus League spring training this year, as they have for many years past.
But unfortunately, you're going to have to face Bonds 4 or 5 times instead of once or twice. Normally in spring training, the big guns are out of there very quickly. Shawn Estes pitched in one of the games in spring training, only threw 3 innings. So the Brewers have some idea of what he throws.
Bonds homered against the Brewers this past spring. Had a couple of the big games at the Brewers' expense early in Arizona. Mercedes has him here 0-2. Oh, man, did the fans want to punch out there or what?
Well, Matheny was sitting on the outside corner, and to the fans, it looked like a strike because Mercedes hit the glove. Unfortunately, it was about 6 inches off the corner. It was a good pitch, though, by Jose.
1-2 on Bonds. Rides it high, even now with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barry Bonds has taken to hit the ball towards left field a whole lot more this year than he had in seasons past. He's become such a complete hitter, it's frightening. Working with the 2-2 count here. Hit on the ground to Vigna. They'll have but one play. foul ball.
Went off the foot of Barry Bonds. It didn't appear to hit the foot, but Barry limped around as if the ball hit his foot. One of those veteran moves. Let's see if it hits it. Oh, yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
Once in a while, you'll see a big hitter like Bonds who hits an easy ground ball, limp around as if to tell the umpire that didn't count. Not that time.
Gamesmanship, right?
Yeah. Crafty veteran.
So still 2-2. Bases loaded for the Giants. Top of the third, 1 away. Brewers on top 2-1. High fly ball to center field. Grissom's there for it. Estes will tag, and we are tied at 2 apiece.
Well, Barry Bonds able to do his job, and certainly Jose Mercedes will take it. After walking Bill Miller to load the bases for Bonds with 1 out, sacrifice fly, pretty much the lesser of many evils that could have been inflicted by Barry Bonds. Fastball up out over the plate. Jose was trying to sink it a little bit to get that ground ball again. Plenty deep enough to score the run.
Now Mercedes hardly out of the woods. Jeff Kent the batter now. He's 0 for 1 so far. Runners at first and second. Tied up 2 apiece now on the Bonds sacrifice fly. Strike 1 to Kent. Jeff Kent started his career with the Blue Jays. Really arrived as a major leaguer with the New York Mets. Had a 21 home run year with the Mets in '93.
He's off to a pretty good start this year, only with 1 home run, but hitting over 300, 13 RBIs. And we mentioned really carried the Giants in the beginning part of last year when Barry Bonds was getting tuned up.
Really had a big season last year. Tell you what, you look back at how these Giants were built, and a couple of very key trades is really what put the Giants over the top last year. Getting J.T. Snow from the Angels in exchange for left-handed pitcher Alan Watson. Ken came over from the Indians along with Julian Tavares and Jose Vizcaino in exchange for Matt Williams. That was a big trade for the Giants. They got 3 quality players in exchange for 1.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 home to Kent, fouled away.
Well, that J.T. Snow, Alan Watson trade was a good trade for both clubs. The Giants needed a first baseman, and J.T. Snow, probably one of the best, if not the best, in all of baseball. And really, the Angels had a log jam with some young talent. They ended up putting Darren Erstad. That opened a spot for one of those 4 outfielders, and it's worked out well for everybody. Alan Watson having a pretty good time of it in the big leagues over there.
Got him swinging. High gas. Kent just trying to protect his face there. Commits, swings and misses. Mercedes gets his strikeout to strand a couple of base runners in the third. To the bottom half, tied at 2s.
For over 40 years, Century has provided you and your family with nothing less than USDA choice beef. No one else in town can make that claim. That's one reason why we've earned a reputation as having the finest beef around. But it's not the only reason. You see, at Century, our experienced butchers make sure you're getting the juiciest, most flavorful cuts possible. And they'll either trim to our quarter-inch standards or custom cut it to your specifications. Even more reasons why every great meal starts with Century.
What
What's this person doing?
Waiting for an appliance repairman.
You shouldn't have to wait around all day to fix an appliance.
Oh, American agrees. And that's why our appliance technicians let you know when they'll be there within a 2-hour window, or American will pay you $25.
American sure must know appliances.
We know GE, Whirlpool, Amana, Maytag, Sub-Zero, and we know how to price at the absolute low price. Many with no money down and no interest till the year 2000.
American, the low price and so much more.
Hi, Mark Rosen here along with Tom Lehman.
Inviting you to join us at the 1998 Dayton Challenge on June 28th and 29th.
Some of the world's greatest champions have their sights set on the Minneapolis Golf Club.
Players like Nicklaus, Palmer, Player, and Couples.
All playing to benefit the Children's Cancer Research Fund. It's great golf for a great local cause. So dial Tom's T and order your Dayton's Challenge tickets today. Or visit the website at daytonschallenge.com.
Fans help the Brewers provide baseball gloves for the youth baseball programs. Bring gloves to Gate X on Tuesday, April 21st, and receive a game ticket for $1 for each glove redeemed. That's April 21st against the Dodgers.
Jaha, Burnitz, and Grissom here in the Brewers' third, tied up 2 apiece. 3 balls and a strike on John Jaha. Well, so far, both Jose Mercedes and Shawn Estes have been in a little trouble today to start this one early. Each has allowed a couple of runs. The Brewers on 3 hits, 4 knocks for San Francisco. The Brewers through 2 innings have stranded 3 base runners, and the Giants through 3 innings have stranded a pair. Full count pitch to Jaha, swung on a missed, strike 3. Got him with a change that time.
Well, one of the few changeups that we've seen from Estes tonight has been the fastball and the curveball. Jaha hasn't seen it yet. Really pulls the string. That's a good pitch and a good location. No chance.
One away for Burnitz now. Singled and scored in the first. You know, the Brewers certainly hoping that this isn't one of those nights where the few opportunities you have against an opposing starter come early, and if you fail to cash in, you're going to pay for it down the road. Left a couple of base runners in the second. Big curveball in for a strike.
Well, Shawn Estes will give you opportunities, but he's got the kind of stuff that he can work his way off the hook. I mentioned a lot of walks, a lot of base hits already in this young season. And the Brewers in this past week have stranded a lot of base runners, and you certainly don't expect that to continue, or you hope it doesn't.
Two balls and a strike on Burnitz. He's jammed, hits a little flare out back at third. Miller can't make the play. Burnitz is aboard.
Well, not one of the base hits that Jeremy Burnitz will want to remember very soon, but does a nice job making contact. Gets jammed down in the trademark. It's not how, it's how many. Just out of the reach of Bill Miller at third base. Well, that makes up for a couple of line drive outs.
That's right. I guess that game has a way of equalizing itself, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Here's Grissom now. Burnitz aboard with 1 gone. The hitting streak run to 12 with his first inning 2-run double. Four hits for both clubs now. Identical line scores in the bottom of the third. 2-4-0 for both the Giants and Brewers.
A nice stop by Brian Johnson. One of those 50-foot fastballs, a catcher's nightmare, but he throws the glove up there and makes the stop. Good job. And Marquise Grissom celebrating a birthday today. A lot of birthdays for the Brewers this week.
Yeah.
Jesse Levis, Burnitz, Vini yesterday.
Yeah.
4 days in a row.
Big. This guy's turning 29 and 30 years old.
Yeah, you're not
and
impressed.
You wish him a happy birthday, and they're walking around complaining about their bad back and their, you know, their Achilles and their hangnails. Come on, guys.
Yeah, they do, don't they? They're getting old.
2-0 on Grissom now. A couple of pitches that have skipped in the dirt by Shawn Estes. You know, Shawn Estes started spring training red hot. He allowed 1 run and 9 hits through his first 15 or so innings. And everybody was going nuts in the newspapers in San Francisco talking about the great season Estes was going to have. And he said to everybody, hey, look, this is just spring training. And furthermore, I don't feel like I've got my curveball yet, so don't go talking about winning 30 games just yet, would you?
Yeah. Well, just ask the Brewer pitchers how important spring training is. Doesn't mean anything. Get your work in, stretch you out, throw some pitches, and get ready for the season. It's a good thing for the Brewers it doesn't count, huh?
Well, no doubt. 2-0 to Grissom. Misses in close. 3 balls and no strikes.
A pretty good spot here for Marquise Grissom. He's hot. A long hitting streak. 3-0. I'd give him the green light here.
All right, Skipper. 3-0. This is inside. Ball 4. Runners at first and second now. Still 1 away. Mark Loretta, the batter.
The Brewers have had 7 base runners already tonight. 3 hits. I should say 4 hits. 4 walks. That's 8 base runners. Dusty Baker's going to make his way out to Shawn Estes. This has been pretty much typical of the way Shawn Estes has thrown so far this year. Very erratic, wild. Coming in 9 walks, 9 strikeouts.
Little visit to the mound by Dusty Baker. Well, Dusty Baker has been called unorthodox at times as a manager, but you can hardly argue with the guy's track record. Been very successful with the Giants. His players like to play for him. He's a motivator. He's a good X's and O's man. Took a little grief after the National League playoffs last year for some of his approaches against the eventual world champion Marlins, but you know what? He manages by gut, and you gotta love him for that.
A little bit of an instinct from time to time, very similar to the way Phil Garner goes about his business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Boy, another curveball in the dirt. 1-0 on Loretta. Imagine how boring this game would be if everybody managed from the same manual. I mean, what would the fun be of that?
Well, it'd still be hard because the players can't play out of it. But you're right. Every manager has his own way of doing things, way of managing games, way of managing personnel. So it makes the game fun.
2-0 to Loretta. All of a sudden, that control that Estes looked like he had regained to get out of the second has lost him once again here in the third. From the stretch, the 2-0 misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Really not even coming close, is he? These pitches are not even close to home plate. Dusty Baker with the toothpick. Not concerned a whole lot. No activity in that Giant bullpen as of yet.
3-0 on Mark Loretta. 1 away, runners at first and second. The 3-0 is in for a strike. And Loretta was taking all the way.
Well, pretty good speed on the bases. Burnett's, Grissom. Do you send them? 3-1?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I refuse to comment to the media at this time. Loretta with a shot towards the gap in left center. That's going to split Hamilton and Bonds and should score a pair. Burnett to the plate, followed by Grissom. 2 runs in on the double by Mark Loretta. 4-2 Brewers.
Well, there's Mark Loretta. 2 base hits, 2 doubles, and 4 RBIs for Mark Loretta. Last base hit was a pinch hit, double. That scored 2 runs. This time, this one, a 3-1 fastball right down the middle. Mark Loretta gulps it into left center. No chance for either outfielder to make the play. And as we mentioned, good speed on the bases. Burnett can crawl home, and Marquise Grissom right on his tail. Now the Brewers up 4-2.
Loretta, the runner at second, still 1 away. Darren Jackson now. That's a great at-bat by Loretta. 3-1. He knew it was going to be something hittable, shall we say. Straightened it out and drives in a pair. 1-0 on D. Jax. He walked his first trip to the plate back in the second, and again Estes is in the dirt.
And that's the thing that the Brewers have been doing all year long. It's been somebody different stepping up and getting that big base hit. It's early tonight, but Phil Garner giving Jose Valentin a night off, wanting to get some time for Mark Loretta, and he certainly made him look good, didn't he?
Two-0 to Jackson. His bounce. Great play by Miller at third. Gets up and doesn't get him at the bag. Apparently Snow came off of first base. Wow, what a great play by Miller just to make that stop. But the throw brought JT Snow away from first base, and the Brewers have put runners at the corners.
Well, it's going to go down as a base hit. A nice play by Bill Miller going down the line, diving to his right. Heck of a play. Gets up, makes the throw. Pulls JT Snow off the bag. Now watch Mark Loretta. Once Miller makes the throw, Loretta takes off to third base. Good base running by Loretta.
A big inning so far, and the Brewers with a chance to make it bigger. Runners at the corners for Matheny now, still only one away. Michael walked in the second in his only at-bat against Estes.
Here's a spot where you would think that Mike Matheny will expand his strike zone just a little bit. Jose Mercedes has shown really no ability to handle the bat up there.
Curveball in for a strike.
If you're number 8 hitter in a situation like this, you might think about swinging at a pitch off the plate a little bit. Give your team a chance with one out.
Right-hander Russ Ortiz in the Giants bullpen. One and one on Matheny. Loretta the runner at third base. Darren Jackson aboard at first. One away and a 1-1 count on Matheny. Another bouncer. Johnson keeps it in front of him. Jackson's going to get down to second base on that. That's a big wild pitch as the Brewers get a runner at second. And no longer do the Giants have the crack at the traditional double play to get out of the inning.
Well, Brian Johnson certainly has had his blocking practice in for the night. A good job by Johnson. You get in front of it, that's all you can do. And Johnson makes sure that home plate is going to be covered. You stray a little bit too far there from home plate. Nobody there. Loretta might walk to home.
2-2. Chance for Matheny to quite possibly drive in a pair now with runners at second and third and one away. Ball, strike three, got him with a fastball.
Pitcher.
Well, big out for Shawn Estes. He got it with a fastball. He throws Matheny on the inside part of the plate. Michael called out on 3 strikes. Never swung the bat.
Here's Jose Mercedes now. Mercedes struck out back in the second on 3 pitches. On each occasion, he was trying to put down a bunt with runners aboard. Ended up striking out on a curveball in the dirt. There's a big swing and a miss, 1-1.
Is that the biggest swing on the team, wouldn't you say?
Just about.
Big, long. Let's go with that top hand. He gets a hold of one. Look out.
1-2 on Mercedes now.
Well, Mercedes trying to trick the Giants. Nothing doing. It's that curveball again.
The 1-2 home. Oh, the curveball just misses. How about Estes going with the curveball, trying to backdoor him with 2 strikes?
Not fair. Come on, Shawn. You've seen that swing.
There's the 2-2. Fastball misses thick. And now it's full 3-2. Isn't this interesting? You know he's going to lay one out there. Vigna, the on-deck hitter, is red hot. Runners at second and third with 2 away. 2 runs already in for the Brewers. And a balk is called on Estes.
There you go. He did that one other time, and a balk was not called. Home plate umpire Mike Winters right on it. Mike Winters saying that he made a move as to get set to deliver a pitch and stopped. Let's see what he does. There it is, right there. He went from the wind-up to the stretch. You can't do that. His first move was with that left foot. Can't do it.
And Mercedes still alive on a foul ball on 3-2. Boy, what a huge break that is for the Brewers.
If his first move was with the right foot, that'd have been okay.
The 3-2 home to Mercedes, a called strike 3, but the Brewers do plate 3 runs in the bottom of the third. The 2-run double by Loretta and the balk that scores the third. We've played 3 complete. Brewers on top of the Giants 5-2. You're watching Brewers baseball on MSC.
Well, I like to run the point guard, you know, do a little dribbling, like to do a lot of dishing, go to the hole. It's very rare when you see a big man my size go to the hole. Playing a little power forward, I like to box out, do a lot of screening. Mean on the pick, you know, sometimes. I run across a pick of mine, you might get a dislocated shoulder, something like that. In the paint, the painted area, that's my house. That belongs to me. When you cross that free throw line, you're in trouble. I like to play for the sport of it. You know, I used to play football, play basketball just to stay in shape.
New cell phone, huh?
Got it for free. Hello? Oh, recall waiting. Reactivation.
You could sign up with a lot of cellular companies and still not get everything Ameritech gives you for $19.95.
Free voicemail. Shh. Don't move. You're sitting on the one with free minutes.
Get a free Motorola phone, 53 minutes, free call waiting, and voicemail, all for $19.95 from Ameritech.
What would you say to $229 a month on a Toyota Camry? Just a $229 a month lease on America's #1 selling car. Just $229 a month for a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. At $229 a month, you could say the Camry is close to perfect, but far from expensive. This is a TMCC lease available through your Toyota dealer. Each dealer negotiates his own terms. Get to your Toyota dealer now. Want a mower that's fast and fun? Introducing Snapper's new Yard Cruiser. Designed right, the Yard Cruiser's joystick control allows you to point and go with super responsive zero-turn steering. With easy access, superior visibility, and a pivoting frame that glides over the contours of your lawn, cutting your mowing time virtually in half.
Snapper. Anything less just won't cut it.
Call 1-800-SNAPPER for the dealer nearest you.
Coming to MSC, it's NFL passing, it's NFL speed, it's NFL power, and it's all NFL Europe. Tune in for all the NFL action as the Scottish Claymores take on the Rhine Fire in the European League. Coming Sunday night at 5:30 on MSC, your ultimate sports connection.
And we'll give our viewers this little test. If you were tuned into us from Montreal the past couple of days, what is a Claymore? JT Snow takes a 1-0 pitch from Jose Mercedes and lifts it into left center. Grissom and Jackson chatting it over. Marquise Grissom for out number 1. We thought one of our camera operators, Dwayne, would show up to the ballpark today with a claymore.
Yep. A claymore is a club-like weapon. Yeah. A claymore.
Very technical explanation.
Yeah.
One away for Stan Javier. Stan Javier started out the year red hot, 7 for 18. Then he fell into a 3 for 28 funk, which he recently came out of, and I mean very recently. Giants last series against San Diego.
Well, there's one thing that Dusty Baker really isn't too much concerned with, is that the ability of this team to score some runs. They're going to be able to do that. Their guys going to be going into slumps and not hitting the baseball, 1 or 2 guys, but there's too much talent, offensive talent on this club. Pitching and defense. Got Danny Darwin on the pitching staff. Earl Hirsch has very much of a veteran pitching staff. They play good defense. They're going to hit.
3-1 on Javier. Brian Johnson, the catcher, waiting on deck. And there's ball 4. That's the second walk of the night by Mercedes.
Catcher Brian Johnson.
A runner at first with 1 away now. Brian Johnson, the batter. Earlier we were talking about Brian Johnson and the knack he had last year for the dramatic game-winning home run. He's continued that this season. This guy really steps up when it's time for a hero. A couple of home runs in late September last year, one against the Rockies, one against the Dodgers. They would both win ball games, and they would both really be quite key when you look back at how the Giants were able to win the West.
Absolutely. Came over in a late season trade. Got some good pop in that bat. He can hit the ball a long way. There's a guy that gets an opportunity to play every day. He could hit 15 to 20 home runs, and we've seen already tonight that he's very capable behind the plate. He's got a good arm. We've seen him block pitches very well tonight, and he's really learning how to handle pitchers.
Three and 0. He was originally drafted by the Expos, did not sign. Drafted by the Yankees and signed. San Diego took him in the Rule 5 draft, and they traded him to the Tigers. Tigers turned around, traded him to San Francisco for a switch hitting catcher by the name of Marcus Jensen, who is now in the Brewers camp in AAA. 3-1 now. He's a very popular player in San Francisco. Played his high school ball in the San Francisco Bay Area. Giants fans love him. Javier off first. Next offering to Johnson. Popped him up. Vigna's there for it at the cutout. 2 gone.
Mercedes got away with a pitch that time. One of those backup sliders. Well, the batter sees it out of the pitcher's hand. You see that dot. You identify it as a slider. You lean out over the plate and it never breaks. You see Brian Johnson getting jammed a little bit. Pops it up to Vigna. The old backup slider.
Here's Rich Aurelian now. 2 away. Javier still aboard at first base. Aurelia swinging away early. Fly ball to center. Grissom is there for it. Nothing doing in the Giants' 4th. We played 3.5 from County Stadium tonight. Brewers on top of the Giants 5-2. You're watching Milwaukee Brewers baseball on MSC.